Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 2 of the 9 Facts You Didn't Know About. Now, if you remember, I did the 9 Facts You Didn't Know About series. Just getting my pointer ready. I did this series with the Declaration of Independence on July 4th. So it's been over about a month and a half since I last created 9 Facts You Didn't Know About. So I would like to get this back reoccurringly and things like that. But 9 facts today we are learning about Albert Einstein. And it says let's learn some fun facts about one of life's geniuses who created the equation E = mc squared, Albert Einstein. So before we begin and get into the actual facts, here's just a quick biography about Albert Einstein. His full name is Albert Einstein. He does not have a middle name. His father didn't have a middle name, and so he decided to continue that tradition. His date of birth, he was born March 14th, 1879. He died April 18th, 1955 in Princeton, New Jersey. His profession was that he was a physicist and he was an author. He discovered E = mc squared and the general theories of relativity. And he won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921 for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. But anyways, now back to the 9 facts. Big thanks to Britannica and the History Channel for these resources. They are just the best and they help support me. So it's awesome. Fun fact number 1. Albert Einstein didn't fail math as a kid. Unachieving school kids have taken long solace into the claim that Einstein flunked math as a youth. But the records actually show that he was pretty exceptional, if not reluctant student. He scored high grades during his school days and was only frustrated by what he described as the quote-unquote mechanical discipline demanded by his teachers. The future Nobel winner dropped out of school at age 15, so 15 years old, and left Germany to avoid state-mandated military service. But before then, he was consistently at the top of his class and was even considered something of a prodigy for his grasp of complex mathematical and scientific concepts. When later presented with a news article claiming he'd failed grade school math, Einstein dismissed the story as a myth and said, "Before I was 15, I had mastered differential and integral calculus." If you didn't know, of course, a 15-year-old wouldn't learn that. That's advanced, like a 20-year-old would be able to learn that. But let's move on to fun fact number 2. So, fun fact number 2. No one knows what happened to his first daughter. In 1896, Einstein renounced his German citizenship and enrolled at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. There, he began a passionate love affair with Maivel Marek. I don't know who that is, but a fellow physicist in training originally from Siberia. The couple later married and had 2 sons after graduating. But the year before they tied the knot and got married, Marek gave birth to an illegitimate daughter named Lisserl. Einstein never spoke about the child to his family, and the biographers weren't even aware of her existence until examining his private papers in the late 1980s. Her fate remains a mystery to this day, as of today's date, Saturday, August 22nd. It still remains. Oh no, today's the what? No, as of August 21st. Sorry, as of today, Friday, August 21st. It is still a mystery. But some scholars think that the daughter died from scarlet fever in 1903, but others believe that she survived the sickness and was given up for adoption in Siberia. But then fact number 3, it took Einstein 9 years to get a job in academia. Einstein showed flashes of brilliance during his years at the Zurich Polytechnic, But his rebellious personality and penance, or his usually skipping class, saw his professors give him less than glowing recommendations upon his graduation in 1900. The young physicist later spent 2 years searching for an academic position before settling for a gig at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. Though mentally, the job turned out to be a perfect fit for Einstein, who found he could breeze through his office duties in a few hours and spend the rest of the day writing and conducting research. So it was kind of easy for him. He'd get it done in 3 hours, and workday is like 9 to 5, so that's 8 hours. So let's say he got his work done by like noon, he'd have 5 hours to just conduct research and do whatever he wanted. In 1905, often called his quote-unquote miracle year, he published 4 revolutionary articles that introduced his famous equation E equals mc squared and the theory of special relativity. All the discoveries marked Einstein's entrance onto the physics world stage. He didn't win a full professorship until 1909, nearly a decade after he left school. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this, but hopefully I'm going to just try to run through this. Fun fact number 4, he offered his wife his Nobel Peace Prize as part of the divorce settlement. So after his marriage hit rock bottoms in the early 1810s, Einstein left his family, moved to Berlin, and started a new relationship with his cousin Elsa. Now, don't forget, this was old times, so marrying your family was apparently acceptable. They finally divorced several years later in 1919. Einstein then promised her an annual spending plus whatever money he might receive from the Nobel Prize, which he was surprisingly confident he would eventually win. The wife agreed, and Einstein later handed over a small fortune upon receiving the award in 1922 for his work on the photoelectric effect. Actually, that should be 1921. By then, he had already been remarried to Elsa, who remained his wife until he died in 1936. Fact number 5, a solar eclipse helped make Einstein world famous. 1915, Einstein published his theories of general relativity, which stated that gravitational fields cause distortions in the fabric of space and time. Because it was such a bold rewriting of the laws of physics, the theory remained controversial until May 1919, when a total solar eclipse provided the proper conditions to test its claim that a supermassive object, in this case the Sun, would cause a measurable curve in the starlight passing by it. Hoping to prove Einstein's theories once and for all, English astronomer Arthur Eddington journeyed to the coast of West Africa and photographed the eclipse. Upon analyzing the pictures, he confirmed that the Sun's gravity had deflected the light by roughly 1.7 arcseconds, exactly as predicted by general relativity. The news made Einstein an overnight celebrity. Newspapers hauled him as the heir to Sir Isaac Newton. He went to travel the world, lecturing on a series about the cosmos. According to Einstein biographer Walter Isaacson, in the 6 years after the 1919 eclipse, more than 600 books and articles were written about the theory of relativity. Fun fact number 6, the FBI spied on Einstein for decades. Shortly before Hitler rose to power in 1933, Einstein left Berlin for the United States and took a position at the Institute of Advanced Studies in Princeton, New Jersey, which is where he died. His support from pacifist, civil rights, and left-wing causes has already drawn suspicion from J. Edgar Hoover's FBI. After his arrival on the American shores, the Bureau launched what would eventually become a 22-year surveillance campaign. Agents listened to the physicist's phone call, opened his mail, and rooted through his trash in the hope of unmasking him as a subversive or Soviet spy. They even investigated tips that he was building a death ray. None of this was true, and the project came up empty-handed by the time Einstein died, and his FBI files totally a whopping 800-page, 1,800. Fact number 7, Einstein urged the building of the atomic bombs and later became a proponent of nuclear disarmament. In the late 1930s, Einstein learned that a new research had put German scientists on a path towards creating the atomic bomb. The prospect of a doomsday weapon in the hands of the Nazis convinced him to set aside his pacifist principles and team up with the Hungarian physicist Leo Szilard, who helped him write a letter urging President FDR to conduct atomic research. Though Einstein never participated directly in the Manhattan Project, he later expressed deep regret after his minor role in bringing the Hiroshima and something bombings. Had he known that the Germans would not succeed in producing an atomic bomb, I would have never lifted a finger, he told Newsweek. He went on to become an impassioned activist for nuclear disarmament, controls on weapons testings, and unified world government. Shortly before his death in 1955, he joined with philosopher Bertrand Russell in signing the Russell-Einstein Manifesto, a public letter that stressed the risks of nuclear war and implored government to quote-unquote find peaceful means for the settlement of all disputes between them. Now, fun fact number 8. Albert Einstein was asked to be president of Israel. Though not traditionally religious, Einstein felt a deep connection to its Jewish heritage and often spoke out against anti-Semitism. He was never a Zionist, but when head of Chaim Weizmann died in 1952, the Israeli government offered to appoint him as the nation's second president. The 73-year-old wasted little time in declining the honor. All my life I have dealt with objective matters, Einstein wrote in a letter to the Israel ambassador. Hence I lack both the natural aptitude and the experience to deal properly with people or to exercise official functions. And finally, the fast fun fact, we made it in time, thank God. Einstein's brain was stolen after his death. Now, Einstein died, as you know, at the first slide. He died in April of 1955 with an epidermal aortic aneurysm. He had requested that his body be cremated, but in a bizarre incident, Princeton pathologist Thomas Harvey removed his famous brain during his autopsy and kept it in the hope of unlocking the secrets of his genius. After winning a reluctant approval from Einstein's son, Harvey later had the brain cut into pieces and sent to various scientists for research. A handful of studies had been conducted on it since 1980, but most have either been dismissed or discredited. Perhaps the most famous came in 1999, when a team from a Canadian university published a controversial paper claiming Einstein possessed unusual folds on his pituitary lobe, a part of the brain associated with mathematical and spatial abilities. That is officially the end, guys. I just wanted to try to get everything in. I hope you enjoyed episode number 2 of the 9 Facts You Didn't Know About series. Thank you so much for watching. Your support is always awesome and greatly appreciated. You guys are the best, and it is awesome. Please like this video, comment down below what fact you found the most interesting about Albert Einstein, or maybe a fact you didn't know, or maybe a fact you did know, but like you didn't, I don't know. Share this video with your friends, and then please subscribe to this channel. You know I want to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I've said that so many times. But yeah, that is going to close out today's video. Thank you all for the support. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will see you all tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow. Alright, peace.